Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Chase on Two Wheels First Ride. We are here at Mountain Motorsports in Roswell for our final Scrambler First Ride. In front of us we have the Ducati Scrambler 1100. Now this is the biggest boy in the sector, and if you guys don't know, we're doing a comparison series of all the Scramblers. We're doing the 1100, the Desert Sled, the Cafe Racer, and the 62. So make sure to subscribe and like this video, and check out the link in the description for all of the videos in this series. But today, boys and girls, we are riding the big boy. I'm the most excited. Let's get it going. No time to waste. Alright guys, I gotta tell you, I'm excited to be on a Scrambler with some Olin suspension. That is getting me a little hyped. Hopefully you guys enjoyed those cinematics and that sound check, especially the sound check, because boy, this thing be sounding good. Let's get on it, boys. Ugh. Alright. Woo! Yes sir, yes sir. Alright guys, I am 5'10". My inseam is 32 inches. It's got a bit of a wide seat and I can't get my foot flat. Legs are slightly bent though. You know what I mean? That's a little bit taller of a bike. Let's go. We do have rider modes. We've got city here. Let me show you guys the rider modes super fast. We're going to hold that button in. We've got city, journey, and active, which is interesting set of modes. I'm going to start out in city and we'll progress up. You guys know we're going to be on active before the highway. So let's get this thing going, guys. Oh, and in case you guys are curious, the intro of this video had the Ducati Scrambler 1100. It was one that was they had a mod, like a tall windscreen. That one has been sold. Obviously these things are hotcakes, so we are on a bone stock one, which I prefer. I prefer to be on stock bikes, so if you guys are noticing that this one doesn't look exactly like the other one, that is why. Final one in the series, man. I gotta tell you guys, this Scrambler comparison took me far longer than I expected it to. I am happy to finally be on this big boy. Can we go? Yeah, we can. All right, guys. Ducati Scrambler 1100. Don't nobody need that much power for city, my guy. Oh man, it is fun to be back on a big bike. You guys know I ride a daily an MT10, so I'm used to this bigger bike, bigger engine status. So you know, the 62 is a 400, the Cafe and the Desert Sled are both 800, so I feel more at home here on an 1100, to be honest. So let's hit on body position. Legs comfortable, got plenty of space for my knees here. Back is upright, arms are kind of relaxed and moving forward. My arms are they're extended a bit more than I've been on the other bikes, and I'm sitting in the front of the seat, right? I guess I could scoot a little closer. Seat's pretty squishy. I feel like I could ride this thing like all day, man. Absolutely all day rider right here. Man, this city stuff's cool and all, but oh my god, so much power for city. That only makes me want to get into journey all the more. All right, let's get into journey. Can we actively change this? Close gas. We're into journey. Perfect. Menu's easy to use. So now we're in journey. Yes. I am so excited for active. Woohoo! Oh man. There is There is something intoxicating about riding a motorcycle that has far more oodles of power than you have any business riding. We're stuck at this red light, so let's look at the tack. As you guys can see, this is their top model, at least of the ones that we're reviewing, and we've got the best looking dash of all of them. And I know some people aren't gonna like the circular little added little pill shaped thing, but in order for me to get all the information, that's pretty solid. I'm happy with all of this stuff. I would love LED screens and shit, but you know, I don't really need it. And you can also tell with the controls. The controls here, they look similar to the 800s. So if you want that control quality bump, you're gonna have to go with the 800s and up. You're not gonna get these nice of controls on that 62. But that's what you get when you pay more. You know, this bike is looking, I think, if I remember correctly, this bike's looking at about $3 more than the Cafe and the Desert Sled. So for $3, what else do you get? You know, we got Olin suspension, we got a beefier engine, got rider modes. Granted, the Desert Sled also has rider modes, but you actually have like legit power modes here where you can customize the bike for what you want. I tell you, man, in Journey, woo, the power delivery on these Scramblers has been so good, man. And it's maybe good for me, but the power starts coming on relatively fast. I'm not sure what the peak horsepower and torque are and what RPMs they're at, but I love them for city. Even the 1100 here feels great for the power in the city, like, you know, when it's coming on and stuff like that. It's got a little bit of time up front in the throttle where it hadn't hit you yet. And, you know, so that gives me an ability to kind of ride around. I'm on a monster right now, like a crazy powerful motorcycle. But as long as I'm real easy on that throttle, you know, I can cruise, no big deal. But then if I feel stupid, it's right there ready for me to go. That's so good. Woo! And these bars, man, I want to make any move on this thing, not a problem. Now, these little moves like this don't take anything, but we are talking about a bigger bike. You got a bigger engine, bigger bike. It is heavy. It's not super agile, but you feel like you have so much control with handlebars on this thing that you kind of forget that it's an 1100. It's super well balanced. I don't feel a lot of weight right now, you know what I mean? So once you get these bikes going, you are gonna be rewarded. I love handlebars right now, man. And in this stage of my riding career, I love handlebars. Oh, listen at that, my guys. There's something about these big upright nakeds, man, that just make, it brings out a really terrible rider in me. It really does. Oh, and look at that. This is what I love about this stock exhaust. Look, we're not going. It's subtle, man. You give it a rev, you get reminded what you're on. So sitting here at a standstill, you know, if I lean the bike over, it honestly doesn't feel that heavy side to side. I mean, it's not a light bike. Let's just get that clear. But moving it side to side, I feel okay. I feel like if something happened, I came to a quick stop and I had to catch myself, I can handle that. Oh man, this is the area I like doing stupid stuff. I need people to get out of the way. I got a journey to go on. So much power for city. Oh my gosh. If you want a motorcycle that you are not going to get bored on, right here, my friend, right here. And this is one of the things, you know, you get into a turn, this bike don't feel like it's going anywhere. You got that weight holding you down, but then you got these handlebars, so you can just throw it all over the place. Shifting the gears up and down through them, feel really good. We got a tactile feel on that gear shifter. When I click into a gear, I get a tick. I know for a fact I've shifted. I love that. Definitely would want to have that on something like this. Something else I'm noticing is, you know, we've just been around city and I'm playing around between first and fourth. Granted, I'm riding like an idiot, so, you know, realistically, you're going to be able to get a bigger bike like this and still be able to play with the gears. You know, sometimes when you get a bigger bike, one of the downfalls is if you do a lot of city riding, you're not shifting a lot, you know? But the way the power is and the way the gearing is, I can play around with some gears. I can get to change gears and have a good time on city streets, which I love that I get to do that on a bigger motorcycle. Boys and girls, we are at the highway. You know what that means. It is time for active, my guys. Perfect timing too, look at that. All right, highway test of the Ducati Scrambler 1100. Gee, we ain't got time, bro. We ain't got time. All right, we are not worried about the engine power-wise here, boys. We're worried about the wind, though, for real. All right, this cop's been up here this week, probably because he found out I'm doing a Scrambler comparison. That's fine. Thank God I'm not doing a V2. All right, so let's go ahead and just assess right here on commute mode, you know? Let's throw it into 6. Let's save some gas. We're going 70. I got no issues. The wind is meh. It's not great. I feel some wind pushing on me, but you know, like look at this. I'm kind of chill, one-handed. No real wind issues here. Now, if you're gonna go a little over 73, it's gonna get bad. Speaking of which, let's find out how bad. Yeah, this is terrible. Don't nobody want nothing to do with this right here. Except for that Mustang. Alright, so wind over 90 is gross. That is not fun wind at all. But, if you want it, you got it, you know what I mean? Yeah, this wind sucks. This is what I tell you guys. The wind on a bike that you by default sit upright on is gonna be a lot. I wonder if we lean over, does that help at all? This helps a little if I'm like tucking into the wind, but realistically, like, it's not doing that much. So, commute wise, you know, if you're commuting and you drive like a normal person, you're fine. You know, if we slow down to 70 or something like that, the wind's easily manageable. It's just above like 85 and 90 that it gets like, hold on to your pants. All right, for the remainder of this highway, I'm going to chill back to normal person speed, and we're just gonna have a good time. One good thing about the weight is I'm not getting pushed around here on the highway. I might have a lot of wind blowing in on me, but I'm not getting pushed side to side. I feel stable here. Do I get a clear path ahead for the big turn? Hell yes! Odds are I'm gonna catch that white van regardless of how far away they are. Alright guys, highway driving like a normal human is solid, but here comes our big turn that I still want you guys to tell me what we should name. Let's drop down into 3rd and see what it feels like. Oh yeah, that weight, that stability, bro, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just locked into this turn right now. It doesn't even take that much energy to get it turned over either. We got some bumps right here, get through them, and we're good. Okay. Do you want to, hey, good job. Do you want to take this to a track day? Absolutely not. The wind is not acceptable for a track day. But do you want to be able to throw this into some turns on the weekends and shit like that? Bro, totally. That felt about as good as I wanted it to. That was about on par. I didn't feel like the bike was going anywhere. I felt smooth through that turn. Power delivery was good. I'm here for it, man. I am here for this monster, and we're still inactive. I am a fan of this 1100 engine, and we got stock exhaust, man. You guys know what the decel on this bike reminds me of? Oh, it reminds me of when I did the first ride of our Season 3 Wreck Bike Rebuild bike. The bikes that we do, we take wreck bikes, turn them into dream bikes, and then we like give them away to the people that help support the show. Our Season 3 bike was a cruiser that we turned into a bobber, and when I decelled on that bike, this part, you know, you had that poppy like bro. I'll put a clip in from the Season 3 first ride of that motorcycle. Oh my god. The throttling on and off. Oh my god, I don't know if this bike sounds better when you're throttling on or off. That is what this bike reminds me of, and I kind of love it. I kind of love it because the cruiser wasn't really my style of motorcycle, but I loved that decel sound. But now you can have that in an upright naked. Oh, that's cool. That is so cool. And with a stock exhaust. With a stock exhaust, it comes like this. You don't have to buy anything. Oh, that's awesome. Granted, you're paying, you know, what is it, 15 grand for this? So, you know what else this bike is reminding me of? Is my MT-10. It seems like a tamed down version of my MT-10. Like, if I put my MT-10 in mode 2, this is what active mode feels like on this bike. Because the MT-10 in mode 1, it is just twitchy. It's almost twitchy to a fault. It's too twitchy. Active mode here, the highest power mode, I feel like I have supreme power over where this power is. I feel like I can crank the throttle all the way open, and that makes it fun. I cannot do that in mode 1. Granted, I can't even do it in mode 2 on the MT-10. The wheel just comes straight up. But this bike is giving me that feeling of my MT-10. It's a heavier motorcycle. I've got handlebars, but it's just the power is more sophisticated. It's more tamed down. Riding an MT-10 in modes 2 and 3 would be very reminiscent of this motorcycle. And also, both of them sound really good stock, which is kind of cool. Granted, the price difference, there's like a $3,000 price difference. You know, MT-10 I think comes in, I want to say 12 or 13 grand, and this is 15. So, you know, you're paying the Ducati tax, but if you want that Scrambler look, then I'd push you more for this thing, man, honestly. I do gotta say, the cockpit here, I'm a really big fan of. I love that by stock, you get black bars, black levers, black. I love everything. And they have an 1100 Sport Pro in the showroom at Mountain. And dude, that bike looks dope. Like, I'm gonna have to do a first ride on it just so I can do all the cinematic shots. I am a fan. One thing we do got to keep in mind, guys, is these bikes are air cooled. They do not have they don't have a coolant reservoir. So standing still, I've noticed this on the other Scramblers, they do get hot naturally, right? Like it's not moving. It doesn't have coolant running through it and fans and shit. So that is something you're gonna have to keep in mind. You know, if you're in a city or if you have to drive through a lot of stop and go traffic, like right now, we just were stopped for a minute. My inner thigh right here is hot. Like if I touch the tank like that, it is super hot. So, you know, this is stuff you have to deal with. Ducatis in general seem to run super hot. So maybe it's a Ducati thing, but you know, just to be aware of stuff like that. This is another thing that I don't want you guys to take for granted is we got a big bike right here, but we're puttering around, right? We're in third gear going 30, but you know what I mean? Like there's enough play up front in the throttle to where I can just putter around. It's not a big deal. You know, it's not twitchy, and I'm in the most hardcore mode that this bike offers, and it's not a problem. Getting a little U-turn situation's easy peasy. Then when you start going quick again, it just kind of adapts to the new situation. Man, what a What a good bike, dude. And we got that Olin suspension too. Feels great for as much as I can tell what a suspension feels like. Oh man, upright nakeds, man. Upright nakeds with handlebars are my jam right now. They are my bar none absolute favorite motorcycles. We got anybody behind me? Let's test the engine braking out. Engine braking's honestly way lighter than I expected it to be. I would give the engine braking, 10 is the engine braking stops you like a pair of brakes, and a 1, engine braking's nothing. I'd give this engine braking like a 4, man. It's pretty light until you get those revs up. Guys, I'm getting that vibe on this motorcycle that this is something that, this is one of those bikes that you ain't gotta have any other bikes to ride this thing around. This can be your like one and only motorcycle. That big turn felt good to me. It felt solid on the highway, but like the one that we did in the intro bit for this series, they've got a big old windscreen. You could get that guy, get the windscreen option, and suddenly you can handle better highway speeds. You certainly have the engine for it, and the engine is tamed down enough to where you can easily rip it around town and not get in trouble. You know what I mean? It's got traction control, it's got ABS, it's got everything you could want on a bike. This is one of those bikes that's totally fine. It's like, what do you ride? Oh, I got a Ducati Scrambler 1100. Oh, okay, cool. You don't need any other bikes, Clutch feels good. It's got a good transmission. I'm here for this motorcycle. Now, I could be tainted. I love the absolute shit out of my MT10. I love almost everything about that bike. And this has given me a lot of vibes of that MT10, and it's kind of just, it's where I'm at as a rider right now. I want to be comfortable and have enough engine under me to have a really good time, but I also need to be maneuverable, and this bike gives me that same feeling. Granted, I feel like my MT10's a little more maneuverable than this bike is, but I don't feel any sort of lacking in the maneuverability here. That D-cell gets me every damn time. Alright guys, let's pull in the old parking lot and take a walk around this thing. Guys, there is something about street riding with a bike with handlebars where just everything makes sense. Similar to how riding a motorcycle with clip-ons in a high seat position makes total sense on track days, handlebars in an upright seating position on a motorcycle on the highway, like on city street riding, the majority of the riding that a lot of us do, it makes so much sense. All right. Let's check it out, guys. The 2020 Ducati Scrambler 1100. So this one, we've got the gold suspension up front, the rear, we got the Olins. We got this whole black and gold theme, which is cool. If that's your jam. I'm not really here for the black and yellow. I prefer that 1100 Pro Sport. It's all blacked out. It looks glorious. The only things I'm really not here for on the bike are all the really bright silver pieces. So we got it here, 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 and here. So it looks like, in the headlight, I think this bike would look so good blacked out. I love the detailing and the fact that this could be a pinstripe. They could just easily pinstripe that, but no. It's an inlay. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a plate that goes on the side. That's pretty freaking cool, dude. That's some attention to detail. Like from here, you don't even notice it. It's only when you're up on it that you really notice it. You can also see we got like semi-knobby tires. We got, honestly, just has deeper treads, kind of like a Supermoto tire. And one of the guys, shout out to Kenny at Mountain Motorsports, he actually bought one of these. Told me that he took it down a light dirt road the other day and had a phenomenal time on it. So like, you get a lot of purpose out of these things. We got Brembo brakes up front. And we have the same engine as all the other ones, just a This is the biggest version of it. Like I said, it was getting a little bit hot. We got brakes, Brembros in the rear. We got ABS in the rear. I'm kind of digging the dual exhaust. Just wish they weren't that color. I don't know how these things aren't melting, but you know, is what it is. I think it's an overall slick bike, man. I think it really is a good looking motorcycle. So before I get to finish this ride up, guys, I'm gonna do my little photo stuff. You guys know. Instagram time, baby. Boom. Oh, I like that the bike with the yellow is matching the little fall color change on the leaves. That's pretty cool. If you guys don't follow us over on Instagram, at C2WPics is the place to go. We post a lot of, I try to post as many high quality photos as I can. And if you guys go over there and follow us, please do. And if you do, let us know you came from a first drive video. I would love to know who's YouTube squad and who's Instagram squad. But guys, we got to finish this bike up. We got to finish this bike up because that finishes up the Scrambler comparison. And holy hell, man, I had no idea that these Scramblers, given the same frame and the same engine platform, you know, they're different sizes, but the same engine platform, and they could be such different motorcycles. All right, let's finish her up. We'll finish her up in Journey, since we're finishing this long journey we're having. All right, boys and girls, we are in Journey to finish our journey. That way we have a smooth throttle while I finish this video with you guys. Alright, so guys, as we come to an end of this first ride of the Scrambler 1100, who's the bike for? For this one, I feel like it's obviously got to be a more experienced rider. You do need to be, I wouldn't recommend this to a really short person. The seat seems to be a little too wide. The seat height's not bad, but the width of the seat's really where the problem lies. So you're definitely looking at a more experienced rider that needs this thing. But for a bike to ride around town, maybe light commuting, you know, the occasional weekend run, you could even do it on trips if you got a windscreen, you know, and block some of that wind. But we are 100% looking at a motorcycle that is your one and done, can handle everything you want to do. Obviously, it is a Ducati. The naked market is stacked right now, so I feel like the person that's going to spend the extra money on this compared to, you know, maybe like the big four hyper naked models, you've got to either really be a fan of Ducati, you got to be a really big fan of air-cooled engines, or you got to be a big fan of the look. So if this bike really appeals to you and you fit it, and that's the kind of the riding that you're going to be doing a lot on it, this is going to be a phenomenal motorcycle. Something you got to think about also when you grab a Ducati is the cost of ownership. Maintenance is probably going to be a little more expensive, but I do know Ducati has been getting better about their service intervals, so at least for that. But as far as just a absolute joy to ride, this bike is up there, man. Like I said, I'm comparing it to the MT10, and right now, honestly, if you asked me, the best bike on the market is an MT10 as far as everything considered. So me saying it reminds me of my MT10 are high praise. But guys, that brings us to the end. We're done here on the 1100 Scrambler. I hope you guys got some info from this that kind of could help your purchasing decision. And if you guys are in the market for a motorcycle, I got to give a shout out to my guys at Mountain Motorsports. That's the dealership I started at. It's the dealership I'm going to end at. And that's where I get all these bikes from. Had it not been for those guys, I would not get to do this first ride series for you guys. So I got to give props to them. Gonna have Mountain Motorsports info down below. And if you guys are serious about purchasing your next bike, they have a huge inventory. So you can go to Mountain. They got like 5 locations here in North Georgia, and the inventory is huge. So you guys can sit on a ton of bike. That way you can go sit on it, see if it fits your style, see if it fits your body. And if you use this first ride special pricing down below, we can actually save you guys a bit of cash on your bike. So, you know, if you're in the area, stop by, use that special pricing thing, and save some cash. But guys, I'm Chaseontwowheels. I appreciate you guys riding around with me. I would really love it if you guys like the video. It always helps us out here. And if you guys enjoy motorcycle content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We do a lot of it here. And guys, I will see you on the next one. Later. Outro crew, that's the end of the Scramblers, guys. What did you guys think was your favorite? Let me know what Scrambler so far has been your favorite. And if everything works out, tomorrow we'll put out the final comparison video. So that'll be cool. Make sure you guys stick around for that. And I'll see you on the next one. Outro crew, I love you long time. Oh, outro crew, when you guys comment in the comments down below, because you know, I know you're going to, make sure to let me know you're in the outro crew. Anybody that tells me they make it to the outro of the videos, dude, that's an automatic heart for me. The fact that you guys get to the end of the videos are awesome. So let me know that you're in the outro crew. I'll share some love with you. Later, guys.